On today's show, how learning the basics of Social Security can improve your retirement planning. Part 2 of this week's series on managing Social Security benefits, America's #1 retirement plan, with nationally recognized author, platform speaker, and retirement expert, Tom Hagman. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to InsMark, Life Specs, and Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show, Tom.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Great to be back.
Well, I'm all over Social Security. And what we talked about yesterday, if you say, Steve, I didn't know there was even a history to this. Well, a lot of us really were not born when all this went down. And so I recommend heavily that you watch yesterday's show. You'll kind of get an understanding and the intent of the law and why it was written.
Right. The history was very interesting in the future.
Well, I'm still all over your gal named Ida, who was the first Social Security recipient, who put in what, $22?
$24. She got out $22,000. Yeah.
Over her life,
right.
She just happened to outlive and outstrip the Social Security. And by the way, very few people know that. You know, they actually used the actual 1941 CSO insurance mortality tables to kind of construct this. So kind of interesting thought there.
Yeah.
Walk us through the basics now. We kind of got the history.
Right.
We kind of got a little future, your eyeball view of the future solvency. What's the basics I need to know as an advisor?
So there are some benefits available through Social Security. We all know retirement income, but there's also disability income benefits. There's insurance for surviving spouses and children, and Medicare is actually under the Social Security umbrella. Who receives Social Security? About 50 million people do. So that's why it's not going away. You can't take away a benefit from 50 million people. It's just not going to happen. And so Social Security is here to stay. And as I said, it's pretty simple, I think, to fix Social Security for the next 100 years. Here's a key point. This is a big deal because over 25 years, this Social Security can pay out $739,000, and I've seen illustrations with inflation protection that can show Social Security paying out $1 million, $2 million over a person's lifetime if they live a long time. Most people don't have this amount of money just laying around, so it is the #1 retirement asset that most people have, and yet they spend more time planning their summer vacation than they do planning the start date of their Social Security. 74% of those collecting Social Security retirement benefits are receiving reduced amounts, including 76% of all women and 71% of all men.
Now, when you say reduced amounts, what do you mean?
They're taking it early,
and
they're getting it cut. Yeah, and we'll talk about that in just a few slides. But look at this. In 2010, there were 1.8 million recipients aged 90 and older. 51,000 recipients age 100 and older. This just shows you people are living longer and longer. It's not just a few people. It's millions of people that live this long. So, as we said last time, benefits are wage-driven. Employee, employer each contribute 6.2 up to 118,500 for Social Security, 1.45 each for Medicare. All right, but here's how you become eligible. You need 40 quarters, basically 10 years, but 40 quarters of wages that were subject to Social Security payroll taxes. The quarters do not need to be consecutive, and they do not expire. The benefits are calculated based on the average of the 35 highest years. So what if you only work 30 years, Steve? The other years are all zeros.
And it drags your number down.
Drags your number down.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is why sometimes it's good to work later, work a few more years, because if you're making $100,000 now, and your first 3 years you were a busboy at Wendy's or something, you're going to make more, and those years will drop off. It's your highest 35 years. So this is why you may not want to retire early, and you may want to work a couple more years. When should you start collecting benefits? Well, if you take it at your full retirement age, you get full Social Security. But what do we say? 71% of them take it early. It can be reduced by as much as 30%, or you can delay your retirement till age 70 and get up to 32% more.
That spread between age 62 and 70 is huge.
It's huge. It's almost double.
Right.
You double in 8 years.
And that's inflation on the way up. You usually assign it.
And with inflation, it can be more than double. This just shows what the average annual Social Security income benefits are. $14,000 for a worker, $13,000 disabled, $13,000 for widowers, children, $6,700, spouses, $7,000. But this is the majority of their paychecks in retirement. And how do benefits compare? If you have a low-income person, their Social Security can make up to 55% of their pre-retirement income. If you have a high-earning person, it might only be 28%. But you'll notice that their actual benefits are higher, and that's because they paid more money into it. You can file as early as age 62, but your benefit will be reduced. And again, your highest 35 years. If you collect early, you're going to get penalized. You're not going to get the full amount. If you wait later, you're going to get a bonus. Now, where can you literally double your money from age 62 to 70 anywhere in this interest rate economy? A couple of key things that you want to know. Your full retirement age is FRA. You'll see that a lot when dealing with Social Security. And your primary insurance amount, your PIA, that's your full Social Security benefit at your full retirement age. All right? And then there's cost of living adjustments, and Social Security use CPIW. There's a bunch of different CPI, CPIU, CPI, L, CPIW is what they use. And that's really some of the basics that people need to know about their Social Security benefits.
We come back, we're going to review this because we really want advisors to start incorporating Social Security into their planning. And I promise you, if you help people really maximize their benefits, they're going to listen to you on the other areas of retirement. We'll be right back after the break. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Welcome back to our second segment. Of course, we're with retirement expert Tom Hagna. Tom, we're talking about maxing, and I love you have two big words in all the speaks I hear you about: maximizing and optimizing.
Right.
We're always trying to get the most out of it. Let's talk about maximizing Social Security benefits.
Yeah, so there are a number of strategies, and we're going to spend a lot of time on this, but in this section, what we're going to focus on is just delaying benefits. The one thing that can help most people maximize their benefits is just delaying. Don't take it at 62. Take some other money. Take money out of your 401k. Take money out of your IRA, but delay that Social Security benefit because that goes for the rest of your life. If you're the breadwinner, it goes for the rest of both your lives, and it's inflation protected. So here's some things. These are the things that you want to consider when determining. I said in general you should delay, but you got to take your health status, your life expectancy. If you're terminally ill, you better take that thing, right? So if it depends on a lot of these things. Are you going to continue to work? How many work credits do you have? Does your spouse have benefits? What other financial resources do you have? And what's your current and future income needs? So I'm saying in general, but and in general, it should be the breadwinner that delays. The other spouse can actually take theirs early. So let's talk about it. You can take, as we said in the last segment, at age 62, but you get reduced benefits. You get delayed credits if you wait till age 70. And this is where you can really maximize benefits. So if you take a look, for somebody whose full retirement age is 66, and for every $1,000 they get in Social Security, if they take it early, they only get $750.
So they're going to 25% discount.
25% discount. But look, if they wait, they get a 32% increase. So Steve, let me pull that apart. Look at this. $750 versus $1,320. $750, $13, that's almost double. And this is not figuring in any inflation protection. This will almost certainly be double, more than double of what the age 62 is. Where can you double anything in this interest rate environment in 8 years? And this is guaranteed for both lives if it's the breadwinner, and it's got inflation protection. It's the best lifetime income annuity most people will ever have. Okay, so when should you collect early? You collect early if you really need the money and you're no longer working or earn less than the earnings cap, or if you're in poor health and you may not live until your normal life expectancy. So some people may have to, but my problem is too many people just say, well, I can take it. I better get the getting while the getting's good. This thing might not be around, and then they take it early. Big mistake for most people.
When we're thinking about planning, and once we clear your hurdle of health condition and I have decent longevity in my family,
Right.
everybody should try to do whatever. And I've heard you talk about also one of the stalling taxes sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes I've noticed you talk about pulling a little equity out of your house, maybe to kind of feather that
Well, yeah, and
time.
there's a lot of ways you can do it, but I say take money from someplace else. Like if you really feel you got to take money, take your money from someplace else. Let this grow, because this is growing at 8% guaranteed.
Right.
And I'll tell you, if you could invest your money and get 8% guaranteed, you do it all day long. When not to collect? Probably not if you keep working and making a bunch of money, because they're going to reduce benefits. And we'll talk about the earnings test a little later. Spousal benefits, even a spouse with no work history can get up to 50% of the working spouse's Social Security. All right, you got to be 62 years of older. This is for divorcees. Divorced people can collect on their ex if they were married for at least 10 years and not currently married. So you can collect on your ex as well. We'll talk about that in another segment. But you can either collect based on your personal earnings record or your spouse's earning record, all right? And you can collect up to 50% of your spouse's earnings. Now, here's something a lot of people don't know, Steve. Your spousal benefit increases only up to the full retirement age. After the full retirement age, there's no more increasing. So you should not delay the spousal benefit past full retirement age. There's no reason why you'd want to.
Her full retirement age, or his, or
whoever made most. If the husband made the most, she should not delay her spousal past age 66 because there's no reason to do it. This kind of shows. So if full retirement age, your own benefit was $600 a month, you get a spousal benefit because John had $2,200 a month, she had $600 a month. She's entitled to half of his, so she could get her own. She could get the additional spousal up to $1,100. If she takes it early, there's a penalty. But if she delays, look, there's no increase. There's no increase to delay. All right. Now, this is the slide everybody loves. This is what's my break even? Like, I won't live that long. Well, look, if you delay to age 66 versus age 62, your break even is age 76. If you delay from age 70 to age 62, your break even is age 79. If you delay to age 70 from age 66, your break even is 81. But Steve, you got to understand, a man's life expectancy at age 65 is now 85. A woman's is 88, and their couple life expectancy is age 92. All far higher than these break-even points.
So it's really worth, even though this maps it out, really, I don't see a loser. You should hold on and try to delay.
At least the breadwinner should delay. That's my number one best idea for maximizing Social Security benefits. We're going to get into some more strategies in a minute.
This is the break-even point, and this slide's worth its weight in gold. When you're looking at clients, we have to just go through their basic health, figure out their situation, then put them on a timeline like you've done. And I like this thing you've said before. I've heard you speak when you say the average mortality. Well, that means half the other people weren't average. They were longer.
Right.
And I think medical technology is going to make this line a lot higher.
Yep. And if you saw, okay, so age 92 is a couple, but vast majority of couples will live past age 81.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on the show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Just hop out to our video archives. And remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you tomorrow.